Well, see, first of all, I should have mentioned them first, but the ones that I come with is my daughter, Tricia, my oldest daughter, that sings with us. She's just come back to learn a lot of her songs with us, so she comes to a lot of events with us when it can, and she's learning the songs through my brother, my son, my brother, her brother. My son, Michael, who I named after my late father up in my territory, and he's named after his late grandpa, who was Grand Chief Joe Gabriel, and my dad, Mike, up in my territory, Cultus Lake, Sewali. My Indian name's Salastleton. I come from originally Sewali First Nation. I ended up in Kwantlen because I married the hereditary chief of Kwantlen, Stakwasan, Chief Marilyn Gabriel. She's been chief of her community 33 years. And I'll speak a little bit before my son carries on, but I really I hold my hands up to Jeremy. And when we come to gatherings or homes like this, we thank you, Jeremy, for your hospitality, but also for respecting the land you're on. I will bring this back to my wife, Stakwasan, and her people, how you've treated the Kwantlen people here, how you've respected the land. But why we come here on special days like this is for the grads here today. Well done and a beautiful job. I get excited when we come and do welcomes and celebration songs for you. Why? Because you deserve this. You've worked hard to be sitting where you are today. Today is your day, and I congratulate you. But yet at the same time, I look out at the crowd. When I come and we do this kind of work, I always like to look at how multicultural we are here. And I look at your families in the crowd. They're proud of you, but you should also be proud of you, proud of them for standing with you all the time while you're getting educated. And I thank the parents, the siblings, the grandparents that sit here so joyfully to stand and watch the ones graduating today. This is just as much your day too, but I thank the grads for allowing us to be here to enjoy a short time with you, the three of us. With that, I'm going to let my son carry on, but once again, I thank you for allowing us to be a small part of your beautiful day. Awesome.
In our language, it means good day, friends and family. I start the day off by thanking our Chitzal Siem, that's our creator, and our ancestors before us. Because without them, we wouldn't be able to share that beautiful medicine here today. What we did was share prayer for the ones that are graduating today for their new journey. The song that we sung is actually a song that came to me. And I was sharing with our friends in the backstage the meaning of it. I went on my first journey when I was 17. An elder from Samiamo sat with me, and she shared, young man, whenever you're going through a hard time, and this goes for all the graduates and the people here that need to hear it, every river, every lake, and every ocean has shwali, and in our language, that's spirit. He said, go dip your hand, go dip your foot, go speak what's in your mind and your heart to that water, and that water spirit will take it away because there's no same flow of water twice. That song's called Ocean Views, and we don't know what you're going through behind closed doors or on your journey of life. I feel like that's a song to brush you off. And today I want to honor you with one of my own songs, the graduates here, to brush you off if you're going through any heaviness or any stress through this pandemic. But today is your day. The song that we start off with is how we would welcome you into our lullum, in our home, in our community, all Indigenous communities. We want you to be here and want you to be fully engaged for all the good work that you've done here today, because that's why you sit there. That's your gift, and no one can take that away. Look out to the crowd. Your family's here supporting you. You wouldn't be here without the support of your family. They're the backbone of who you are. There's lots of tears, lots of stressful nights of no sleep, but they were there for you. And all these people that sit in front there, these are like your family too, just as much as your family at home. They care for you like family. They want nothing but the best for you. And that's why we're here. We want to start your ceremony off in a good way with the beat of our drum. Because the beat of the drum is the beat of the heart. You remember when you're in your mom's womb for 9 months, what did you hear? Her heartbeat. The drum is the heartbeat of our people, but also the heartbeat of our ancestors. And it doesn't matter where you come from around the world, everybody can feel this. All these seats, when we share that prayer, aren't empty. The ones that you missed that aren't here physically are here spiritually with you today to celebrate this monumental day for you. Today is just for you. So I raise my hands high and I say congratulations, because that's what our Siam would say. Don't let anybody take your gift away from you. Don't let anybody break your shwili, break your spirit, because you're beautiful just the way you are. So you remember that going forward when you have those tough days. You remember this wonderful day on getting your diploma and all these people, all these faces that are here that made it so you made it here, perfectly safe and sound. So that's all I have to share with you. And when we raise our hands high, for the ones that are here, our guests and family here, without words being exchanged, when we share, we put our hands up. That means we have the utmost respect for you. And without words being shared, we acknowledge you. So I want to acknowledge and respect all the graduates here. And congratulations. And enjoy your ceremony. Hachkasiyam.
I just want to open our ceremony today by saying a very sincere thank you to Michael Kelly Gabriel, his son Kevin Kelly, and Tricia Gabriel, his daughter, cultural drummers from the Kwanlin First Nation, on whose territory we're gathering here today. Just a tremendous honor to not only have them lead us in today and to speak from the microphone today, but it was a memorable honor to meet with them backstage and talk to them a little bit about their culture, and that's not something that I'm going to forget anytime soon. My name is Jeremy Sable. I'm the president of Stenberg College, and I'd like to offer my own welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us from wherever you have come from today. Making the journey here to be with us to celebrate and acknowledge the achievement of all these graduates up on stage. This is, of course, the graduating class of 2021, and this is the first live grad that we've done in quite some time. So thank you as well for kind of bearing with the limitations and the alterations that had to be made for the sake of pandemic safety. I'd like to ask that everybody remain in your seats until the ceremony is concluded. I'll give you a little bit more direction on that later. Now is an opportunity, and I'll probably take it myself, to make sure your cell phones are turned off. There's quite an echo in here. You wouldn't want to be that person with your cell phone going off in the midst of because everybody's really awful when that happens. They all stare, and it's a terrible experience. I notice that some of you do have children, which is wonderful. Children love to celebrate also. But if they become restless and don't wish to be in the auditorium anymore, we do have childcare, and you can go to an usher and ask if it's okay. They'll direct you to childcare. Just one word of caution. Please do remember that you put your child in childcare before you leave the building today. We never believe people who say they just forgot. So, we're going to open the ceremony with a recognition we do at every fall convocation. It's an annual recognition of our Student of the Year recipient. Before we do that, we need to speak about as well and acknowledge the nominees for our Student of the Year award. Quite a prestigious award to receive at Stenberg. Every year, over 1,000 students enroll at Stenberg with the goal of transforming their lives through education. For them, Stenberg and education represents a fresh start, and for many, it represents a new lease on life. Whether students are taking classes at our flagship campus here in Surrey, or off-site at a satellite campus in Halifax or Winnipeg, or anywhere around the country where we deliver or online. Their experience is often united by profound personal and professional transformation. In recognition of their remarkable accomplishments, Stenberg College annually presents the Student of the Year Award to a deserving student who exemplifies excellence in academics, leadership, attitude, community service, and spirit. The award goes to a student who embodies Stenberg's mission to develop caring graduates who benefit their professional and personal communities. All year long, we receive countless nominations with stories of students who have gone above and beyond what is expected of them. We then face the difficult challenge of selecting only one finalist for each program. Each finalist is then interviewed, and from this group, one winner is selected. A first runner-up and also a second runner-up are selected. The winner of the award receives a full tuition reimbursement, while the first runner-up receives a $5,000 tuition reimbursement and the second runner-up receives a $2,500 tuition reimbursement. Each program finalist receives $1,000 as well. This year, we have received over 150 nominations from faculty instructors, and we're truly overwhelmed by the number and the quality of those nominations. I'd like to acknowledge, because it is an honor simply to be chosen and put forward, we'd like to acknowledge all the individuals that are here today who were nominated by program. I'm going to call your name, and I would ask that you bravely stand up so that we might acknowledge you in front of your peers and family and friends. Just remain standing. We're going to give you a big round of applause at the end. From the Counseling Therapist Program, Jamie Dunlop, Cow, Sarah McDonald, Lori Van Balcom. From the Early Childhood Education Program, Carla Banaket, Sumati Brar, Manpreet Parmar. From the Early Childhood Education Post-Basic Program, Valeria Capatillo Valdez, Yuko Itagaki, and Harpreet Randawa. Ambika Verma and Courtney Wade were also nominated. From the Special Education Assistant Program, Kelly Cardinal, Brittany Siamara, Elizabeth Eakins, Jennifer Conrad, Dimpy Pangura, Christine Viana, Carolina Woodcock. And from the Medical Lab Assistant Program, Paula Nicolai Hernandez, Camille Lucero, Chihiro Nakano, and Christopher Oshipok. From the Optician Program, Bharat Dugal and Ojiogo Okpo. From the Pharmacy Technician Program, Rima Jizi, Katya Luchanko, I believe, that's better pronunciation, but probably still not perfect, and Naomi Peters. From the Therapeutic Rec Program, Bethany Booth, Serena Campbell, Tessa Hansen, Maria or Lucille LeConte, and Aurora Scott. These are all nominees. Please give a warm round of applause. Putting you on the spot is over, and you may be seated. Thank you. You'll all be receiving a nomination certificate through what we used to call the mail when I was a boy. It is a piece of paper that arrives at your house, and I think they still do it. They must still do it, right? So look in the mail, the old-fashioned mail. We'd also like to recognize the finalists. Now remember, one person from each program is chosen as a finalist. When your name is called, and a number of people are not here this evening, when your name is called, won't you please stand? The others I will name, but will be recognized in absentia. From the Business Diploma with Marketing Specialization, Ridhima Chopra. The Cardiology Technologist Program, Jennifer Ball. From the Counseling Therapist Program, Sarah McDonald. You're here, Sarah. There we go. The Healthcare Assistant Program, Sonia Cantonaire. From the Medical Lab Assistant Program, Paula Nicolai Hernandez. From the Optician Program, Emily Privet. From the Pharmacy Technician Program, Faraday Kaboli. From the Education Assistant Program, Carrie Hill. From the Practical Nursing Program, Abigail Cruz. From the Psychiatric Nursing Program, Omid Koshnevis. And from the Therapeutic Recreation Program, Jessica Dobransky, who I believe is also here. Or perhaps not. Oh, there she is. Wonderful. Please give a round of applause to those finalists who attended. All right. We're narrowing it down here. You can feel the suspense building. This is how we do it. We'd like to recognize the Student of the Year runners-up. When your name is called, again, please stand so that you may be recognized. From the hospital, we have two. The Hospital Support Specialist Program, Mirna Birka, who's not here this evening, but the Early Childhood Education Program, Yuko Itagaki, is our first runner-up, and there's Yuko there. It's almost painfully difficult to choose a finalist, a winner of the Student of the Year award. It's a lengthy process, and we try to give everybody as much of our attention as possible in hearing their stories and making a selection. As always, this year's winner of the Student of the Year award is incredibly deserving. And we're going to hear her story in a moment in video. She is nursing unit clerk graduate Renee Trogi. For 15 years, Renee worked in a job she loved as a care aide, but after 3 workplace injuries, she was forced to look for a new career. She wanted to continue to help people and discovered that becoming a nursing unit clerk was the type of career that would allow for that to happen. To prepare for the program at Stenberg, Renee took classes to improve her computer skills because nursing unit clerk has prerequisites for computer skills, including a very difficult typing assessment that takes a while if you're not used to typing. She worked hard throughout the program, earning a 98% GPA, and is currently working as a full-time float at Vancouver General Hospital. Nikki Cross, the department head, and her instructor speaks very highly of her, saying Renee went out of her way to help her classmates with anything they needed. She was the most supportive person, organizing study sessions for all to attend after class and going above and beyond. She was a delight to teach. I would ask, because Renee can't be here this evening, I would ask that you, this afternoon. We usually do grads in the evening, so I'm still stuck there. Please give your attention to the screens above the stage to see a story featuring our Student of the Year, Renee. Grads, you'll be able to watch on the televisions, and the crowd will be able to watch on the screens above. And congratulations to Renee.
I moved to Abbotsford when I was 11, and I haven't left Abbotsford, so I haven't really experienced much. I got pregnant young at 18, had a baby, started nursing RN program, but unfortunately life just took me in different directions, and I ended up getting married and staying at home, and then I got divorced. I have 2 children, so my youngest was 2 when we got divorced. I went right into being a care aide, and I worked there for 15 years. 2 kids, working, paying the bills. It was hard. I mean, I love being a care aide. Loved it. It became a very physical job though, and so I had to start thinking of the next step. I just knew my body probably wouldn't take it. Getting older. I went to a psychiatrist. I just loved being a care aide and was having a really hard time, and I went to get some help, and she just kind of got me into like, why do you love care aide? What is it about it? And I realized I loved helping people. So we then started talking about what do you love, what about it? And I came up with the nursing unit clerk, and that's where I went. In short terms, the nursing unit clerk processes physician's orders, but so much more. We answer all the phones, we greet all the visitors or the patients or the doctors coming in, we find anything they need, but the main thing we're there is to process the physician's orders. I was 43 maybe at the time, and I've never really used a computer. I was so scared. So I went and took some computer courses. I went back to school, I took some Excel, I took some Word programs, I took a typing program. It took me 3 times to pass that entrance typing to get into Stenberg. 3 times. But I did it. It was my first mild little success, but wow, I felt great. The first day of my program, I walked in, I was so scared. I just sat in the very first seat I could sit, and then I kind of people watched. I watched everyone that walked in, I looked at them, I looked at their age, I looked at what they were wearing, how beautiful they were. I was shaking. But then Frank walked in, and he is so funny and just welcomed us and everyone, the whole class. And he got us to say something that was going to mean something to you. So we all said master student. He called us master student. So from the very first day of class, I called myself a master student. We called ourselves master students. We called each other master students. We still, actually, now we call ourselves master employees, but we still say those things. So that first day was, it was the best day because I was so scared. And walking in, and I felt wonderful. Life was so hard with COVID. We started our program in Stenberg in class, you know, and then that was in January or the end of January, and by March we were at home. That was scary, but guess what? We got to go through it together. I can't talk about the parties or the group get-togethers because we didn't. We were during COVID. So I can just tell you, we laughed. We had some really good times trying to figure out Moodle at home. Those are funny, you know, how do you upload this? And it was a really good experience. I don't want to speak for the whole school, but I know any person from my class could have won Student of the Year. They could have been sitting in my place and they deserved it. Every single one. I just feel like I'm representing them, not necessarily me. I wouldn't have been here. I would not be here if it wasn't for the group of people I was matched with. My first day of practicum, I was nervous, but I was excited. I was really looking forward to it. I was not looking forward to answering the phone. Surprisingly, in all my life, I've never had a phone job or had to answer the phone or use the computer. But first day, answered it. Now I love it. I graduated on October 28th and my hiring date was November 2nd. I work full-time at VGH Hospital. I'm a float. I go to a different ward all the time. I go to ICU, I go to COVID units, I go to medicine, surgical. I feel fulfilled. I'm happy. I even have an hour and a bit drive to go to work each day, and I'm still enjoy it. You got to see the most wonderful, beautiful things out of COVID. When these nurses and doctors and health staff all work together in a pandemic, it was just amazing. It was really a beautiful blessing to see, as scary and as sad as it was, to see how these people handle it were amazing. I love my job. I love who I am while I'm at my job. I love coming home and I feel good. Now I really do believe that I want to come back and teach, and I've never imagined that change, but I'm looking into the future. I would tell the younger Renee to embrace the fear, love the fear, because that's the excitement. The change, the challenges that will come my way or your way will give you light. Just content isn't good enough for you. Know your worth, because you are worth it. That's good. That's what I'd say.
Just an incredible story, an uplifting story, an inspiring story, and an inspiring message from Renee. So our thanks go out to her for letting us bring her story to life in the video. I should also point out that because Renee was funded through WorkSafe BC, you'll remember I mentioned she had a workplace injury as a healthcare aide and her education was funded. We're not able, therefore, to give the Student of the Year award money back to WorkSafe BC. So Renee asked that we distribute it equally amongst her classmates, the full tuition reimbursement. So though she's not here to hear it, we want to make that acknowledgement, and another round of applause, please, for Renee and for her classmates. So every graduation ceremony needs a valedictorian. So we went out and got one for you, just especially for you. We have an outstanding student to fulfill the role. She excelled in her program and was a Student of the Year finalist. I would like to introduce Paula Nicolai Hernandez. Paula Nicolai. Is it Paula or Paula? Paula, okay. Paula Nicolai is graduating tonight from the Medical Lab Assistant Diploma Program, and her instructor and MLA Department Head, Rajni Naidu, had this to say about her. Paula's sincerity for her profession is evident in her compassion and kindness towards her patients and coworkers. Even when a shift was challenging, she weathered it all with her winning smile. I am proud that she is a Stenberg graduate and that she is now my coworker. And speaking from my own experience, when you meet a medical lab assistant, it's usually because they're coming to put a needle in your arm to draw your blood. And I especially like the medical lab assistants who are compassionate and have a smile on their face. I look for those ones in particular. Please welcome Paula Nicolai Hernandez to the microphone.
Fellow graduates, Stenberg faculty, family and friends, good afternoon. My name is Paula Nicolai Hernandez, a graduate of the Medical Laboratory Assistant Program, and I am honored to have this opportunity as valedictorian to speak on behalf of my fellow graduates. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. So tonight, we celebrate an important milestone in everyone's lives, our graduation. I came here with my parents as a provincial nominee in Saskatchewan in 2010. As a young adult, I was very anxious and scared. I ended up going back and forth to the Philippines to finish my degree in psychology and a certification in professional education. I became one of the pioneering psychometricians in my country. I was a somebody back home. Back then, I believe I had reached my highest potential. Then I decided to come to Canada to be reunited with my parents. Deep down, I shared the same fears of thousands of other immigrants coming to a first world country have. Will I become a professional? Will I afford school? Or will I be stuck in a job I am not happy in? These are the questions that often make or break us immigrants. Some people did not want to come here due to that fear. The fear of instability, the fear of not being able to make ends meet, the fear of mediocrity. I ended up working in a restaurant in a well-known university. Among all the workers, I was the only one who was not in school. Finally, I told myself that I am done sitting here and waiting for a miracle. I wanted to make my dreams a reality. I wanted to become a somebody who will help others. It took me time and so much courage to enroll myself in the Medical Laboratory Assistant Program. For 8 months, I went to work as a bubble tea barista early morning until 4 p.m. and braved school from 5 p.m. until late night. I did homework and readings during my breaks at work and my commute to school. I didn't have a day off except for my birthday. During practicum, I still went to work on weekends. It was hard, but it wasn't only me. I had classmates who were working just as hard. As MLA, we practiced phlebotomy on each other. There were a lot of learning curves and pain. Blood, sweat, and tears were shed. Well, we had wonderful teachers who guided us every step of the way. Family who offered their arms in class so we could practice. Classmates who made sure no one got left behind during quizzes or homework. As my friend and fellow classmate Christopher once said, we started at 16, we will finish at 16. In class, we had to reach 75 successful phlebotomy attempts to pass the course. One would think each student would strive to have the highest number or to finish first, making it to a little competition. But that was not what happened. Whoever finished their 75 paused and helped others to reach theirs. Classmates would offer their arms continuously to make sure everyone would reach their number before the course ends. I am happy to say that we were all successful. Throughout my journey, I realized being successful did not only mean having the job I love or being rich. Success did not only mean being somebody respectful. Success meant having the empathy to help others. If all of us help one another, our struggles will become bearable and our goals more attainable. The world will become a more beautiful place to live in. Right now, I may still not be the somebody I dream of, but with everyone's help, I am a somebody in the making. To my fellow graduates, congratulations. We did it. We are now working in our field. As we continue to work serving others in the years to come, remember to be kind. When the job becomes hard, when the shift becomes toxic, remember to be kind. You may not know you might be the only smiling face the person you are talking to have seen all day. May that smile radiate, and may that make you stand out as a Stenberg graduate. I would like to thank Stenberg teachers, faculty, and staff. To Nicolette, Jonathan, and the rest of the team, thank you for guiding each of us in reaching our full potential. To my family, thank you for never telling me my dream was impossible and for helping me in every way you could. To my mom, who offered her arms when I couldn't find someone to bring to class, I hope I made you and Dad proud. To my Gongcha family and Surrey Memorial Laboratory family, thank you for the patience and trust that you instill in me. To my program head and practicum monitor, Rajni Naidu, thank you for guiding me during my practicum in Surrey Memorial. You were there for all my questions and for all the advices you have given me. I will always remember them during my work. To my classmates, we did it. We started at 16. We may not be at the same time, but we finished at 16. Let me wrap this speech up with a quote by Albert Schweitzer. The purpose of human life is to serve, to show compassion, and to have the will to help others. During these unprecedented times with COVID-19, may we remember to help and be kind to everyone around us. Once again, thank you, Stenberg College, and congratulations, graduates of 2021. Let's have a wonderful afternoon ahead.
Thank you very much, Paula. Tremendous. We're about to begin the ceremony that you will probably recognize, a familiar procession of graduates across the stage. We name each of them. A member of the faculty will come forward and greet them as they cross the stage. The classmates from each cohort will then gather at the end of the stage where there will be an opportunity for a photo to be taken. We do have a professional photographer here to do that. We ask that you hold your applause until we've got all of the graduates across, or for each cohort anyway. Each cohort gathers, and there'll be an opportunity for applause at that time. Excited outbursts of joy are, of course, welcomed and permitted as your graduate is named. Before we begin that procession, I just want to say a little bit about the significance of what it is we're celebrating and acknowledging here. And I think it's typified, well, I know it's typified, in fact, by the stories of Renee and Paula that have just been shared. Now, their stories are so profound and kind of moving that you might be tempted to think that, well, it's just those students and they're in some way unique. They're exceptional, but in terms of the broader experience that each of our graduates brings into Stenberg College and goes through while they're transforming themselves through education, those experiences, those stories are not unique. They're exceptional, but not unique. So many of our students are coming from different places around the country, many of them coming from different places around the world, and have chosen to go into careers where they're going to be working with people, helping people, teaching people, supporting people. They choose Stenberg College for one reason or another, and then they put their trust in us to provide an environment that they can learn in. And each and every day, we experience with them and get to know them, get to know their stories, and it is honestly very humbling and inspiring. Student after student with stories of sacrifice, with stories of struggle, with stories of dedication, and really uplifting, inspiring stories of why and how they made the decision to go into an extremely intensive form of education to try to make their life better, their family's life better, and ultimately the lives of community members better as well. That's what we're here to recognize and celebrate. I'd like for you to have that in mind as each of these individuals crosses the stage today. They're each and every one of them exceptional in my mind. I'd like to invite our Director of Academics for Healthcare, Human Services, and Business Programs, Bal Olek, to come forward to the microphone. She is going to take on the unenviable task of pronouncing each and every name perfectly as the students come down to cross the stage. No pressure on Bal, but this morning we had a convocation ceremony as well for the other half of our student body. The name announcer this morning had 100% accuracy on her name pronunciation. Never seen that before. It's honestly quite extraordinary. So good luck to Bal. Our first cohort this afternoon are the counseling therapist students. They began their journey in October of 2019, and they're being presented to this evening by Dr. Faisal Sahukan and also Christina Savage.
Jamie Dunlop Cow. Pavin Judy. Sarah McDonnell. Tyrone McDougall. Tasha Shu. Lori Van Balcom. Gabrielle Williams.
And just a little bit about this program as they're assembling for their photo. Our counseling grads will fulfill an important role in society by helping others overcome challenges, achieve goals, and better their lives. Through their practicum placement with Moving Forward Family Services, a partner of ours, a nonprofit organization that provides low barrier or no barrier counseling services to anyone who needs it, these students have already made a contribution to those in need of professional support, and they have dedicated their lives to doing so far into the future. Congratulations to the counseling therapist cohort from October 2019. Round of applause for them, please. All right, you may take your seats. We have hot on their heels the early childhood education programs cohort from September of 2020. They're being presented to this evening by, there I go again, this afternoon by Rachel Nicholson.
Jasmine Andrade. Zilla Aptian. Brianna Baker. Barker. Brianna Barker. I was close.
99%.
Samadi Brar. Gurpreet Gill. Nisha Goyal. Gurpreet Kaur. Loveleen Kaur. Navdeep Kaur. Manpreet Parmar. Ranjana Ralhan. Stephanie Schramm. Mary Tapilang.
Of a larger group, and the early childhood education graduates take pride in the fact that by laying the foundation of a child's future learning, they are laying secure foundations for the future of society as a whole. As children cultivate 85% of their intellect, personality, and skills by age 5, the first months and years of life set the stage for lifelong development. Our ECE students learn adjacent, or they did, while this cohort was under roof, to a daycare facility where they can observe and interact with children practicing their skills before starting practicum. This group, once again, the early childhood education cohort from September of 2020. Next is our early childhood education post-basic group. They started in March of 2021, also being presented to by Rachel Nicholson.
Valeria Capateo.
Oh, yeah!
Yuko Itagaki. Harpreet Randawa. Ambika Verma.
These graduates have built upon their early childhood education training to gain a further understanding of working with infants, toddlers, and children with exceptionalities. Our post-basic grads are prepared to handle a wider range of administrative and supervisory responsibilities in childcare facilities and help instill positive values in future generations. And at least one of them has a rabid fan here in the audience. Let's give a round of applause to the ECPBs of March 2021. The medical lab assistant cohort from October of 2020 is our next group this afternoon. They're going to be presented to by Coral Kalisiak.
Simran Gill. Paula Nicolai Hernandez. Cheryl Kimpe. Rafael Lapuz. Camille Lucero. Elaine Montero. Chihiro Nakano. Christopher Oshepok. Arzu Osaki. Liza Marie Serrano. Karen Vasquez Flores.
Our medical laboratory assistant program is great for anyone who loves to work with people but also isn't squeamish about blood. They are certainly a unique bunch. Our students have learned to work with a variety of patients and to develop great technical skills along with interpersonal ones such as patience, empathy, understanding, and a steady hand. Let's give a round of applause to the medical lab assistant cohort, October 2020. And it's just occurred to me that for our next convocation ceremony, we needed to consider some sort of award for the best shout out from the crowd. We love that sort of enthusiasm. Our next group is the optician program. They started in April of 2020. They're being presented to this afternoon by Maddie Podesta.
Bharat Duggal. Dawson Huang. Molak Preet Kaur.
Small but mighty, this cohort. Students combine customer service, professional practice skills, and fashion sensibility with technical healthcare knowledge. Upon successfully completing the national licensing exam, they become integral members of the eye care team. On behalf of those here tonight who wear glasses or contacts, and I've recently joined that group myself, thank you for helping us see better in style. A round of applause for the optician graduates of April 2020. Our pharmacy technician graduates from the September of 2020 cohort are next. They are being presented to by department head and instructor Harini Amstutz.
Michelle Sanchez. Jagraj Singh. Danilyn Ortiz. Aaron Taylor.
This program has been accredited since 2009, by the Canadian Council for the Accreditation of Pharmacy Programs. In 2013, our program was the first in BC to receive a full 5-year accreditation. Pharmacy techs are integral members of the healthcare team who prepare and compound medications. We depend on them for their accuracy, certainly attention to detail, and our overall well-being. Let's congratulate the pharmacy tech cohort of September 2020. We've got one member of the 0320 cohort of the Special Education Assistant Program. Both cohorts this evening are going to be presented to by Natalie Taylor-Lane and Sandy Binning.
Poonam Mahajan. So this is for the cohort for SEAD 0820. Kelly Cardinal. Sukdeep Gill. Caitlin Gowans Page. Bahare Janabi. Luba Johal. Inderjeet Collin. Jennifer Conrad. Thea LaGrange. Marielle LaRoche. Nicole Long. Chona Marie Makabwak. Melissa McDonald. Harjeet Manku. Ramandeep Masan. Farah Mesa. Dimpy Fungura. Joanne Royer. Roop Sandra. Christine Viana.
Education assistants work with students who require additional support with academics, behaviors, English language learning, or specialized needs. They are equipped with additional certifications and things like American Sign Language or autism spectrum disorder, which prepares them to be extremely flexible and adaptable to different students and situations. These graduates will be supporting students of all ages and abilities in a variety of settings, using their skills to make a real difference in the education system and to work toward equal opportunities for success for all our students. Congratulations to the graduates of the Education Assistant cohorts, March and August 2020. I think this is our final group this evening, but it's quite large, as you can see. It's wonderful. It's our therapeutic recreation cohort. They began in October of 2020, the dark days of COVID. They're being presented to by Cheryl Bain, Rosemary Dunn, and Louise Joycey.
Maria Anderson. Bethany Booth. Katrina Kamenzind. Serena Campbell. Patricia Contreras. Kelly Gardner. Ramanpreet Gill. Tessa Hansen. Maria Yusil Loconte. Shailjeet Mangat. Sheila Maputi. Marian Moralde. Sherry Mossy. Rita Nort. Mary Grace Palma. Glenn Palma. Joshua Singh. Sandra Skinner. Thea Wessler.
Therapeutic recreation professionals are in high demand in various care settings, and they play a vital role in promoting and facilitating healthy lifestyles for seniors or older adults. This program is a terrific fit for people who personally enjoy recreation and sharing their hobbies with others. Through this career, our graduates are able to extend their passions, such as music or art, into a setting where they bring joy to older adults and add quality to their lives. Congratulations to the Therapeutic Recreation grad cohort of October 2020. Okay. As they file back to their seats, we're just going to start to wind down the ceremony so that you can go out into the evening and celebrate as a family or a group of friends with your own particular graduate. A few housekeeping items, first of all, before I'll offer some closing comments. And then we're going to invite the Kwantlen drummers and singers back to the stage to officially close our ceremony. Graduates, and this is the housekeeping part, but we'll get to the good stuff in a second. First of all, while I still have your attention and haven't lost you in my speech, please do return your gowns and your stoles afterwards. You'll have an opportunity, if it's not raining too hard, you'll have the opportunity to go outside and have a professional photograph taken with your family, I believe, and also with your fine regalia on. If it is raining hard, then there'll be a permission to remain inside and line up down the hall while you wait your turn, and you don't have to get soaking wet. But if that is the case, we ask that everybody maintain mask and spacing protocol. Each of the gowns and stoles is fitted with a microchip. So if you do wander off with it, someone's going to come and get it. It won't be us, we don't own them. So you do get to keep your caps, however. And of course, who wouldn't want to? It's the perfect fashion accessory. It goes with literally everything in your closet. You do get to keep the gown. As per public health orders, unfortunately, unless we have that rain situation that I just mentioned, we do have to leave the building right away. Normally, we have a gathering with refreshments. We are not able to do that under the present circumstances. Another reminder, so that you can't plead ignorance, if you have a child in childcare, please pick up your child from childcare, tempting though it may be. And I've mentioned the photography. So after I finish speaking and saying my final comments, again, the Kwantlen drummers and singers are going to come back out. They're going to sing and drum as everybody exits the stage. But I would ask that the crowd stay in place until that is finished, and they have an opportunity to speak again from the microphone to officially close our ceremonies. There are two other groups that need to be acknowledged here, and one of our speakers, one of the Kwantlen speakers, said this quite eloquently. Yes, this is your day, but we need to recognize and acknowledge that nobody, or almost nobody, goes through their program at Stenberg College, or any program for that matter, totally alone. The valedictorian and student of the year spoke to the support network that your classmates provide. But of course, we're looking out here at the other support network that is indispensable to such an undertaking as taking post-secondary education. Whether it was a monetary support or emotional support, looking after kids while you tried to study or attend class, all of these people here today to celebrate with you went through it with you. And so let's offer them your applause and an opportunity for thanks to the friends and family. The other group of people that I want to acknowledge are the people represented in the front row here, the faculty and staff at Stenberg. It is just a great, great honor and privilege to be able to say that I am a leader of this group, this team of people who work incredibly hard to make an environment at Stenberg College that enables students to learn. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Education is an imperfect process. We're always in pursuit of excellence, and that is sometimes an elusive goal. But I know that everybody in the front row here and everybody who works at Stenberg that they represent, they're there because they have a genuine passion for education, and the juice for them is actually seeing the transformation take place in our students from when they start to when they graduate, and then beyond that when they become working professionals in their chosen field. It is a continual process of reward for us, and I want to thank them and give the opportunity for the graduates to offer their applause to the faculty and staff here and thank them as well. So my thanks to you. I heard it shouted out from the crowd, and that was great, by the way. I really do like those expressions of enthusiastic joy. That's my mom, and that's my sister, and that's my wife, and that's my brother. And then someone said, that's my hero. And what's really been inspiring for me personally over the last year and a half is to see really record numbers of students come into Stenberg College. Forgive my emotion for a moment, but all of the programs at Stenberg are aimed at careers in the caring profession or in the education field. All of these professions, as we know, are deemed high risk at this time and throughout the pandemic. And I believe everyone on stage here, if I'm looking at their graduate or their start dates of their program, they would have made the choice to enter into their program and enter into that high-risk profession knowing full well that that's what they were doing. They could have made many other choices of career, but they chose to help. And it's gratifying and satisfying to participate in this ceremony and see this army of helpers headed out in the world to do good things, to help make the community better and safer, to help make society better, and by extension, to make the world that much better a place. So I want to thank them for making that choice, for choosing to come and put your trust in Stenberg to learn with us. We wish you all the very best in your chosen field. We hope that you'll remain in touch with us as you go forward. I'd like to, one more time, express our gratitude and celebrate with the grads with the final round of applause for them as we welcome the city back out.
Most yeah. I said to my son, I want you to my talking to the long house and how we speak to the people. I just really want to thank Jeremy for the invitation. I really want to thank you for letting us come in your home for a beautiful celebration today. When we left the first time this morning, we talked to some of the students outside in the parking lot, and some of the parents. This is really what it shows how proud they are of the students on this special day. One of the girls came out this morning and said to my son, "The Lummi song," he said, "my mom has friends in Lummi." She knew where the song came from. To the graduates, when we carry out this work, who knows, someday I might see you down the road and you'll say, "Remember you drummed at my grad? You guys drummed at my grad." I had a girl, a sister graduated at Wallen Polytech, and she said, "You guys drummed at my grad." Now I'm working for Vancouver Canucks. So anything's possible. What my wife says as a leader, as a chief, to her community, the most important thing in this community to my wife is health and education. She always says to her 8 children, reach for the sky. You can do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you any different. This is what I'm telling you. We tell our children, you all have gifts. We're all different. You do what you want to do. You got the ones that sit in front of you that'll prove it. I just wanted to share that with you, your parents, your grandparents, your siblings. Their celebration is your celebration. And you should be proud of what they've done. And you as students, be proud of who stood beside you, like my son said earlier, when you had to stay up late and study for exams. Today proves that you did it. You throw your caps off and say, I did it. Now your journey will begin. But I wanted to let you know that I'm honored to be here with you, with my daughter and my son. You'll share a word. But in my heart, I felt I had to share something with you. And I will bring this back to Stacklesat, my wife, Earth Chief Marilyn Gabriel. And I'll let her know how respectful you are to the Clonmel people. You know, we talked to Jeremy in between, and you know what, this is going to go on. I know it's going to go on, and I thank you for that. I thank you for your friendship, because now I found another friend, I found a new friend. With that, I'm going to let my son talk, but congratulations to all the grads. You deserve it. Well done.
So for my dear family here, when we break bread, when we practice ceremony, what I was taught from my grandpa Herb, he shares with me, we're no longer strangers, we're no longer friends. Today, we become family. When you hear Indigenous people say all relations, we're all connected one way or another. So we welcomed you in a good way. We grounded you today. We're gonna sing and end in song. And the reason why we start with the song and we end with the song for the people here is because we want that prayer on you when you go home. We want you to make it home to your husband and your wife and your children, or whoever you call family, because you're important. Don't let no one put out your fire. When you're having a tough time, you remember today and how proud you are of yourself, but everyone here that stand behind you. You're not alone on your journey of life. When there's no higher way of saying thanks in our English language or even our traditional language that comes from the land, we share an honor song, and that was taught by me from a chief in Vancouver. So today we're going to sing you an honor song to add that prayer to you, and also to anyone that's here that's going through any grief or any sort of heaviness. The song doesn't come from me, it comes from our dear family from Lummi, which is across the border in the States by Bellis Fair. Me and Kevin asked him, Anton George, our hereditary chief, Marilyn Gabriel, Stackelson, love to sing the song to help uplift the people. The youth, I see a couple kids up here in front, the youth over there, and also our elders, or when we say our last goodbye, laying our loved one to rest. And he said, Kevin and Michael, you could sing that song anytime that you want, as long as you recognize where it comes from, which is the Lummi family or the West Shore Canoe Club family. It's a beautiful song. The eagle to us, the Spakis to us, is the one that soars closest to our creator, our Chitzel Siam. And it's a messenger. So whenever we pray in our ways, that eagle delivers it to the other side, to your loved ones that aren't here. And we want to honor you with that. It's an uplifting song. We want you to feel good. We want to give a piece of ourselves away to you today so that you can continue celebrating. Because today is a win for you guys and a win for all your teachers here and your family. Don't ever forget today. Don't let this be the end of your education journey as well. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are, you can learn from anyone and everyone. That's what I learned when I used to do this for KPU, Kwantlen Polytechnic University. There was an elder that got up and she spoke for her class. She was 83 years old and she got her master's in nursing. And she said to us, a degree to me is a key added to my keychain. The more keys add to my keychain, there's more doors of opportunity for me and my family. So today, you guys got a key, and there's a door open for you, and it's time for you to walk through it and spread your wings open like an eagle and jump out of that safety nest and to move forward in a good way. And that's why we're here. We want to send you off in a good way. And this is what we do for our own children. And I thank Jeremy, the faculty, all the people behind the scenes that people don't get to see. We thank them for all their tireless work on making your day important, because you are important. You remember that. And I want to leave you with these words because they're so important. People forget. Our chief always shares the most important person you need to take care of before you take care of other people is yourself. And she says, take care of yourself before you take care of others, because what good are you to others if you're not well yourself? You have to take care of yourself on your journey. So whenever you get tired, take that time to take care of yourself. So we're going to sing this honor song for you. Here's some English in it, but it comes from Lummi, and it's called Fly Go Fly, and this is how we're going to honor you. So once again, I raise my hands to the graduates, the faculty, all the family here for allowing us to be the small part of the ceremony of one of the 3 land-based nations. It's Kwantlen, Keeti, and Samiamo, our neighboring nations. And we're so joyful to enjoy the celebration. It uplifts us. So, Haichka Siam.
You are the only one.